By looking at the game, one can tell the game is inspired by Zelda, but there is more to Genshin Impact. The game starts when you are attacked by a mysterious person and get separated from your sibling, but after that, there is no urgency for looking for your sibling. The main story of finding your sibling takes a back seat, and your encounter with different characters and places take the stage. You also get the story of 5-star characters and a handful of 4-star characters, and for the other 4-star character the story is hidden behind menus for the time being. The game's main story and characters' stories are fully voice acted in 4 languages: English, Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. The core combat of Genshin Impact revolves around a party of 4 characters, while each character can equip one type of weapon to perform a simple 4 to 6 hit combo, one elemental skill, and elemental burst ability. But things get interesting when you start switching between different characters and triggering different elemental reactions and start using different combination to find different team synergy. For example, using Fischl's elemental skill ability and then swiping to Tartaglia to trigger electric charge which deals electro damage over time, or using a character to support your team like using Zhongli's elemental skill ability to provide a shield to the rest of the team so they can execute elemental reactions and combos without worrying about taking damage.
Brace yourself! This is gonna hurt!
But do keep in mind that some characters work well together than others, like using Tartaglia and Razor in the same team will be less beneficial as opposed to using Tartaglia as main DPS and Fischl as support, even though both are electro characters. But with Fischl, you can leave Flying Raven ounces that deals electric damage over time, even if Fischl is not on the field. There is also the benefit of using the same elemental type character on a team, like having 2 pyro character on the same team deal extra pyro damage and reduce cryo effect time by 40%. During exploring you may find treasures guarded by monsters, puzzles, bosses, or challenges like defeating a powerful enemy or destroying targets or reaching a target place within a certain time, or encounter a spirit that leads to a treasure. Each of these will give upgrade materials for characters, weapons, or artifacts. You also interact with pillars to unlock fast travel and statues to unlock part of the map. But initially, the exploration is a little difficult because you have less stamina for running, climbing, gliding, or swimming, but this problem can be solved by using stamina food, upgrading statues to increase stamina, or using 2 Anemo characters in the same team to decrease stamina usage. Some characters have a special skill that helps in exploration, like using Kaya to decrease running stamina usage or using Amber to decrease stamina usage during gliding. During exploring you may also encounter ley lines and domains. In ley lines, you have to defeat numbers of enemies in an area to get rewards, and domains are similar to ley lines in regards to defeating enemies, but you need to go into a mini dungeon. Though domains and ley lines are locked behind AR rank. AR rank or adventure rank is an account-wide progression level that can be increased by doing quests, finding treasures, doing challenges, defeating bosses, and few other activities. Every time your adventure rank is increased, you will be able to claim rewards from the Adventurers Guild. Some other activities are also locked behind AR ranks like commissions, co-op mode, expedition, spiral abyss, battle pass, reputation system, and story keys. Also, after reaching certain adventure ranks, world level can be increased, either automatically or by completing an ascension quest. When the world level increases, it increases the difficulty and rewards dropped by monsters, bosses, ley lines, and also increases the limit on the max level of characters and weapons. But the flip side is that if you get a new character that you want to play, you will need to level it up before you can use it, which can be a chore at a higher world level because most of the resources required to level up a character needs resin to farm them, and there is only a limited amount of daily free resin available to you. Genshin Impact has a co-op feature, but it is locked behind AR rank 16, which can take around 12 hours to reach. After unlocking the co-op, you can join someone else's world, or 3 others can join your world, but there are some restrictions. The only things you can do are domains, ley lines, daily commissions, hunt monsters, and bosses found in the open world areas. Currently, there is also some limitation in co-op, like only domains have a matchmaking option, so there is no way for you to recruit players other than your friends to do other activities like farming bosses or doing ley lines. A feature like a world chat would have helped in recruiting players. There is no voice chat option in the game, you have to rely on text messages, and in domains, everyone in co-op must have different characters, which makes it a hassle because the other players might not want to change their character, and your other characters might be under-leveled, poorly equipped or mismatched with the domain. Also, one thing to note is that Genshin Impact has cross-play and cross-save feature. But the cross-save feature is only available to PC and mobile users. You can cook different kinds of food from resources you find during exploration or you bought them from a vendor. You can then use the food to heal a character or revive a fallen character. There are also foods you can use to increase attack, defense, or decrease stamina consumption of the entire party if you are playing solo. Otherwise, in the co-op the effect is only applied to your characters in the party. Also, there are characters that you can use during cooking that has a chance to produce more food or a special dish. Like using Barbara to cook healing food will have a 12% chance of producing more food, using Noelle to cook defense food that can have a 12% chance of producing more food, or using Amber to cook a steak will have a chance of producing a special variant of that steak. There is also crafting in Genshin, where you can craft weapons upgrade materials, and gadgets for quality of life improvements. The resource to craft these items can be found during explorations, expedition, and you can also ask blacksmith for ore location after increasing your reputation in the city to level 2. We will discuss expeditions and city reputation later. For now, let's focus on resource gathering during exploration, specifically ores. Ore gathering can be a tedious task if you don't have the right character like Chandyun or any other claymore that can easily shatter ore, or Ningyuang that can show ore deposits on map. Which I don't have. Are you listening, Mihoyo? Are you listening? Anyway, I am getting sidetracked. Let's get back to the main point, which is using Zhongli AoE elemental skill ability to shatter ores in an area. And yes, I did the whole last bit just to show off my Zhongli that I got on my free-to-play account, so suck it. Currently, there are only 2 characters that I know of whose talent helps during crafting, Dilik, and one and only Zhongli that I got on my free-to-play account. There is also alchemy, which is basically crafting, but at a separate location, or maybe I am too stupid to understand the difference. Anyhow, by using alchemy you can make potions or combine low-level weapon or character upgrade materials to create higher level upgrade material, and just like cooking or any other aspect of this game, some characters can reduce resource cost or produce more product. Like if we use Lisa to craft potion, she has 20% chance of refunding a portion of crafting material, or when we use Sucrose to craft character or weapon enhancement materials, she has 10% chance of producing double the product. I previously mentioned expeditions in passing. In expeditions you can send characters on 4, 8, 12, or 20 hours missions to gather materials or more, real-world time by the way. Just like cooking and alchemy, there are characters with special talent that can help you more efficiently than others. These characters can complete expedition more quickly, like using Fishlon Mondstadt expedition, which will reduce the time requirement of that expedition by 25%, or using Keeking on Liu expedition, will reduce time requirement of that expedition by 25%. I mentioned reputation system during crafting. In reputation system, each time your reputation increases you get rewarded with things that improve the quality of life for you. Like at level 6 in Mondstadt you get a blueprint for an Anemo treasure compass that can help you find treasure chests in Mondstadt. You can increase your reputation in a region by completing quests, challenges, puzzles, finding treasures, 3 weekly bounties, and 3 requests. Bounty is where you have to defeat a powerful boss with some strengths and weaknesses. Like this Ruin Hunter is invulnerable to physical damage but takes extra elemental damage. And request normally involves giving NPCs some resource or food. One thing to remember is that there are only 3 weekly bounties and 3 requests across all region. Initially, the game is packed with activities to do like puzzles, challenges, treasures, and quests, but after reaching endgame the only activities until the next region unlocks are Daily Commission, Crimson Wishes which reset every Monday and Friday, events, 3 weekly bounties and 3 requests, domains, ley lines, bosses, 3 weekly bosses, and Spiral Abyss, where you have to defeat enemies or protect the crystal. From floors 1 to 8 you can only get the reward once, but on floors 9 to 12 you can get rewards again, but reward reset on the 1st and 16th of the month. Note ley lines, domains, and bosses, and weekly bosses require resin. Resin is a resource that you spend to get rewards from weekly world bosses, domains, and ley lines. To get rewards from weekly bosses you require 60 resin, 40 for elite bosses, 20 for domain and ley lines, while there is only 160 resin currently in the game, which can be consumed really fast, and each resin requires 8 minutes to regenerate or use money to recharge, which makes it feel like a mobile game. Genshin is a free-to-play game that relies on gacha system, which is basically gambling where you spend real money or primogems for the chance of getting the character or weapon you want. In my opinion, it would have been better for the consumer if the game cost $60 as a full game or use DLC-based system or a monthly subscription-based system. In the current system the rates are too high. For example, to get a 5-star banner character you could end up doing 90 to 180 wishes, which is equivalent to $200 to $400, and to get the character to full constellation, you might end up spending $1,400 to $2,800, and for 5-star weapons, you might spend 80 wishes, but it might not be the one you want, even after trying several times. Although the game doesn't require you to have a 5-star character or weapon to clear its content. Also, the game rewards you with a decent amount of primogems and wishes for doing in-game activities, and has also given few 4-star characters and 4-star weapons for free. As a free-to-play player I have 3 5-star characters and almost all 4-star characters except Ningyuang. Again, are you listening, Mihoyo? Are you listening? The story isn't that great, but keeps you engaged. The gameplay is fun especially during combat, but the gambling-based monetization and resin system put a damper on things. I will rate this game 7. If it wasn't for the gambling-based monetization and resin, I would have rated it higher.